So thank you for joining us today for our flash webinar on maximizing your ROI with Loomly's campaign tracking. Building a successful social media campaign has become more important than ever for brands. With fierce competition on social media, careful planning and timing your campaigns are key to maximizing their impact and success. This webinar will provide you with essential steps for effectively building and executing a social media campaign in Loomly. I'm Pete from the Loomly team, and I'll be the host of today's webinar. If you have any questions, use the Q&A section of the webinar, where my colleague Louise will answer all the questions you might have. Now, let's dive in. First off, let's discuss what a social media campaign actually is. A social media campaign is a carefully planned marketing effort aimed at reaching specific goals, like attracting new customers or promoting products. Through careful planning and coordination, brands can utilize campaigns to achieve the desired business outcomes. Social media campaigns typically comprise the following elements. So you have organic and paid posts, brand-specific hashtags, partnerships with other brands and creators or influencers, contests, giveaway, games, and more. Keeping your social media content organized is crucial for effective campaign planning. It helps track results, analyze what works and what doesn't, and easily access high-performing content for future reference. Loomly's post label lets you keep track of your campaigns and organize your posts effectively. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Ensuring a successful campaign requires effective organizing, storing, and management of your media assets. Loomly's library is the ideal solution, enabling you to store, label, and refine your media conveniently. You can access the library from your browser bar at the top and go into the library. With Loomly, you can effortlessly manage these tasks. You can easily upload a wide range of media files, including photos, videos, documents, notes, templates. You can also use the Unsplash integration to pull some images in and also connect Google Drive as well. If you're a Canva user, you have the option to integrate Loomly with Canva, and this lets you easily import your designs into the Loomly library, create and schedule posts. Last but not least, you have the option to tag each of these assets with a label. Tagging it with a label allows you to easily store, find, and repurpose an asset for future campaigns. So if we look at this asset here, you've got this image, and I'm going to categorize this with a book, because that's what we'll work with. It's a little book. So I'm going to add this label and then click on save and close that out. This asset now has the label of book launch. It's a simple way to keep your media organized and ready for action. Once you organize your media assets, it's time to create posts for your social media campaign. Before we do that, however, I want to show you a new feature that Loomly's launched called Custom Fields. You can access this by going to your calendar settings and then Custom Fields. Now, the feature is handy if you need to publish similar content across various profiles and channels. Custom Fields are the excellent solution for this. They allow you to generate placeholders that automatically populate with values specific to each calendar. To illustrate for this example, we can add a saved location for book signings and label it signings. We can then use this option by going, as I said, Custom Fields, creating it here. It's important to note that if you have multiple social accounts you're posting to, you'll need to enter the address of each one in its respective calendars. So to give you an example of this, if I call this sign in, and I'm going to add an address for this, and then click on create custom. We now have a custom field called sign in. So if you, and that's attached to this calendar. If you had different sign-ins in different places, you'd have to create one for each calendar. So say, for instance, we had the sign-in in Melbourne. On the Melbourne calendar, we have to create a custom field called Melbourne. Now, I'll show you how we'll utilize this in a second. First, though, let's create a post. You can create a post by clicking on the New Post option anywhere in your Loomly account. In the initial panel, you'll have the option to specify your generic content, where we'll choose the social channels. Also, we'll add a name for our post, and this is going to be book launch. We'll also choose a date for our post. Set that for tomorrow. So with this initial thing set here, the next thing we want to do is add a label, and this is where the magic comes in for Loomly. So we can create a label by clicking on this and clicking on Manage Labels, and we can call this book launch. And I'm going to give it a red color. I'm going to call it Launch Book. Give that a little red color there. Now that we've created the label, select that and add it to our post. This label will be created within the calendar and it'll help us filter posts and track analytics. Well, we'll see in a moment. The next step is adding our content, which can include text, images, and links. Let's add text first. Now, if you see this little thing at the bottom saying Instagram is complete, the reason why it's saying that is Instagram used to have images and we haven't added. So it's nothing to worry about. The next thing we'll want to do is add a link. And because this is part of a campaign, what we can do is actually use the UTM parameters. Using the UTM parameters, you can incorporate tracking for our book launch. And they'll be beneficial when we're monitoring our link using Google. So the first thing we'll do is add our link that we want to link out to. Then we'll set the campaign source as social. Then we'll select the campaign medium as post. And then we'll call the campaign book launch. And then we'll add that. And once we've added that, the next thing we can do is add our hashtags. To add a hashtag, you can click on the hashtag option here. As you can see, what it's done is we provide 3 different ways. You can have suggestions, which will look at the content of your post and select hashtag suggestions for that. We can also choose some trending hashtags, or we can create a collection. Now, I've created this collection here called Rust and Redemption because it's the name of the book. And if we edit this hashtag, we can see that I've restored a number of hashtags that I know will be successful. And I'm going to add this to the post. Added the copy. At the bottom here, we've got our hashtag added. The next thing I want to do is add that variable that we created. I'm going to don't miss this in-person sign-in at. Choose the custom fields. And then add that sign-in custom field that we have. Once we've done that, let's add an image. And we can do that by going to our library and choosing our image here. So now we've got our generic content created. Next thing we want to do is fine-tune this. The reason we want to fine-tune it is so we can set this specific for different social channels. So for Facebook, we've got this one here with our video added. And then for LinkedIn, we've got the same thing. And then for Instagram, because we've got a link on Instagram, let's just update this. Say, link in bio. You can also We also provide you with an option to expand your reach and engagement by using post sponsoring. And we support post sponsoring for Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. To choose the post sponsoring options, click on here, and then you can set your preferred audience, your audience restriction, and your post sponsoring as well. Once we've created our post, we then have options as to what we want to do with that post. We can save it as draft, schedule it, submit for approval, or publish it. I'm going to choose on schedule. And as you can see from that custom field we created, it's pulled in where the book sign-in is. You can also preview sites. And also, it's got that label that we created. So now that we've created the post, let's have a look at the calendar so we can get an overview of our social media content planning. Loomly provides two calendars to see your post, the list view and the calendar view. And you can access the list view clicking here. In the list view, you can see all your posts with their label statuses and scheduled times in a clean, organized list, similar to an Excel sheet. See them here, we've got labels, copy, media. If we go to the calendar view, we can see what it looks like. Notice how the labels make it easy to identify campaign posts at a glance. We can also filter and see our book launch posts. To do that, go filter, go to the label, choose book launch, and then apply. We can see that we've just got our posts that have the book label. But it looks like we actually forgot to choose a label on this post here. So to change that, what we can do is go into the post, go into the details, click edit subject and labels, and choose our label here. Now see that that's attached. And if we go to our calendar view again, you can see we've got the label there as well. This is particularly handy if you need to edit the post before scheduling. You can add the label in then. Or if you like what I did, when it was published, I forgot to add the label. Do that later on as well. Once you've launched your social media marketing campaign, your ultimate and crucial objective, measure and enhance the success. Loomly's advanced analytics, which is available on the standard plan and higher, will help with this. Back to calendar here, you can access the analytics by choosing the analytics option at the top. Here's what the analytics look like. With the analytics, you can get a report of Loomly URL click counts, sources, and location. Choosing the Loomly link shown here, that will track those posts. You can explore account level statistics, including the total number of page likes on Facebook and followers on Instagram. You can also dive deeper into specifics with post metrics, a comprehensive analytics tool that provides all the data to assess your posts. You can also easily evaluate growth and get a better understanding of your success by filtering and comparing data based on date ranges or labels. So let's filter these posts here by our label. Use that by clicking on the filter option, choosing the label, and clicking apply. So you can fetch our data. You can see that this is filtered now by the label, and all of these posts are associated with that book label. Finally, you can export all your analytics as either a PDF or CSV file, which enables you to share them with your team offline. You can even schedule automated reports for added convenience. Use that. Yeah. Schedule PDF reports. And that wraps up today's Flash webinar. Thank you so much for joining us. If you have questions or suggestions, please review our FAQ section for more information. If you feel like our FAQ has not answered your question, please reach out to our team, either through our chat or via email, contact@Loomly.